In 2018, Hasbro took over the best superheroes in the world with big plans. New shows, movies, toys everywhere. Fans were hyped. The series seemed to have a promising future, but then, catastrophe hit. Projects canceled, the series frozen, merch shifted to Playmates, the energy faded, pulse slowed, and eventually, the monitor flatlined. That was Power Rangers. So what really happened to the Power Rangers? Recently, the Japanese series it had been adapted from, Super Sentai, concluded its long-running production with its 49th entry. The franchise, as traditionally known, appears to have reached a standstill. But how did we get here? To understand, it is worth examining Hasbro's stewardship of the brand in detail. Hasbro's involvement with Power Rangers began in 2018, after acquiring the franchise from Saban. Their first adapted season was Beast Morphers, based on a 2012 Super Sentai entry, Tokume Sentai Go Busters. Go Busters features a distinctive aesthetic inspired by spy thrillers and American action films, complete with leather-like uniforms and the sunglasses motif in place of traditional visors. Hasbro likely aimed to refresh the Power Rangers brand with this modern, sleek visual style, evoking elements of contemporary superhero media like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, while emphasizing a super spy theme. However, by the time Beast Morphers aired in 2019, Go Busters was already several years old, and as the first Sentai series filmed in high definition, its production quality stood out as somewhat dated compared to newer entries. In hindsight, the choice of Go Busters becomes clearer when considering the alternatives available at the time. The subsequent Sentai series, Lupin Ranger vs. Pato Ranger, involved complex themes of criminals versus police, including elements of violence and societal commentary that might have raised concerns regarding contemporary social issues at the time, potentially leading to Hasbro avoiding the adaptation. Another option, Resha Sentai Tokyuger, centered heavily on trains and public transportation, a motif that, while popular in Japan, may not have resonated strongly with American audiences due to cultural differences in infrastructure and interests. I would love to talk about the toys, but I just felt so disinterested by us going back in time that I didn't pick any up. I completely missed out on Beast Morphers aside from the Lightning Collection figures. It didn't help that the Zords had shortages, meaning even if I wanted to buy them, I couldn't. We did technically get one new Zord, the Beast X King Megazord, but it never got a true release, instead opting for a gigantic soap bottle-esque figure. Even if you want to buy a high-quality version of this mecha, Hasbro wouldn't let you. Overall, Beast Morphers suffered from a common outcome for a Power Rangers season. It was mediocre. It avoided the dramatic shortcomings seen in entries like Super Megaforce, but also lacked the standout success of seasons such as Dino Charge. The series has become largely overlooked, with limited discussion among fans in recent years beyond occasional mentions of its crossover episode. Contributing factors include the later controversies surrounding guest star Austin St. John, who reprised his role as the original Red Ranger, but faced legal issues related to COVID fraud allegations, resulting in his exclusion from future appearances. The following season, Dino Fury, adapted from Kishi Ryu Sentai Ryu Soldier, represented a stronger selection. Dinosaur-themed seasons have historically performed well both in Japan and the United States, likely due to the appeal of dynamic, aggressive Megazord designs, featuring spikes and prehistoric motifs, along with the recurring diamond patterns tracing back to Zyuranger. Dino Fury proved engaging, with solid storytelling and character development. Criticisms were minor, such as the key-based transformation gimmick, where Hasbro opted for single-piece keys rather than the flipping mechanism seen in the original footage, potentially to reduce costs. Nevertheless, the toys were generally well received. For instance, the 3 Zord combination packs available online provide enjoyable, posable figures with a modular building element that, while somewhat basic, did add play value. However, following Dino Fury, the trajectory shifted noticeably. Cosmic Fury served as Hasbro's final season. By this point, the licensing agreements with Toei had ended, necessitating fully original footage and designs. This resulted in new suits that retained the Dino Fury helmets, but paired them with simpler spandex bodysuits and added shields. The concept of spandex-based costumes had precedents in Sentai, such as O-Ranger, which incorporated cultural elements like bandana-inspired accents, drawing from Mesoamerican influences for added depth and visual interest. In contrast, Cosmic Fury's approach felt minimalistic, with limited modifications beyond the shields and unchanged helmets. Merchandise for Cosmic Fury was scarce at retail outlets, contributing to the series being a failure. Hasbro then released a Netflix special revisiting the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. At that stage, much of the audience had grown wary of repeated returns to the original era. The special's decision to kill off the character of Trini, in light of the real-life passing of actress Thuy Trang years earlier, complicated efforts to reunite the classic team, especially alongside other challenges like the deaths or legal issues involving actors Jason David Frank and Austin St. John. The special was competently produced, but wasn't memorable. I would have rather seen something new, such as adapting the comic events like Shattered Grid, or crafting entirely new legacy stories. Instead, we continue a story that concluded decades ago. In summary, Hasbro's era with the Power Rangers can be defined by consistency in one area, mediocrity. Numerous innovative directions were possible, expanding into original content earlier, bolder toy designs faithful to sources, or diverse storytelling, but many were not pursued aggressively. Merchandise production continues through licensees like Playmates Toys focusing on classic lines. Rumors of a feature film persist, though concrete details remain limited, with no confirmation of advancing beyond early stages. Ultimately, Hasbro's handling contributed to the current pause in Power Rangers television production.